friends, and welcome to the latest issue of the Wiser newsletter. This week I'm going to be looking at three things. I hope you can hear me through the background noise and a little bit of breeze, which is just keeping us nice and cool today, but it's a super hot day down at the beach. Anyway, this week I'm going to be talking about three things. First is Apple, and then new child protection measures, which have stirred a hornet's nest when it comes to the privacy debate. Then I'm going to talk about crypto hacking and how it just simply doesn't pay, and Google and how they stack up in the search engine marketplace against the three leading competitors. You'll find all these stories and more in the latest issue of the Wiser newsletter, and you can find the link here to take you to the newsletter, or it will be in the comments section. If you like this video, please hit the like button. And if you like this channel and what we're doing at the Wiser newsletter, then please hit the subscribe button so that you don't miss any issue of the Wiser newsletter. Now, the top story this week is around Apple's efforts to fight child abuse and how it's triggered the privacy debate. A week ago, Apple confirmed its plans to roll out a new system to detect images of child sex abuse material, which is also known as CSAM, and this was across all Apple devices. It will start in the United States, but it will be rolled out wider. Now, Apple has been using cryptographic hashing systems to scan for CSAM for years, but only in emails. This is when one person sends the abusive image to another, but now this new system is going to scan all images automatically as soon as they are backed up on iCloud. Using a hashing system, every image will be matched against the National Center for Missing or Exploited Children in the United States. This is the central database of child sex abuse images in the United States and is a private non-profit organization established by Congress in 1984. Now, the new features trigger some hefty debate about privacy because the new Apple feature will scan images regardless of whether the images are ever shared with anyone else. When it comes to privacy, Apple CEO Tim Cook has made it a clear strategic differentiator in the battle against Android, Google, Facebook, et al. In fact, it's a strategy that has put clear blue water between Apple and everyone else that runs on an ad revenue business model. You can go back as far as 2015 to find Tim Cook saying, "Privacy is a fundamental human right." Meanwhile, Will Cathcart, the CEO of Facebook-owned messaging platform WhatsApp, went onto Twitter to voice his opposition to Apple's new measures, which is rather ironic given that Facebook have been doing the same thing since 2018. In his Twitter thread, he wrote, "I read the information Apple put out yesterday and I'm concerned. I think this is the wrong approach and a setback for people's privacy all over the world. People have asked if we'll adopt this system for WhatsApp. The answer is no." Well, I think the answer is actually yes, but that's neither here nor there. Apple has responded to the critics with strong clarification statements explaining how the new features will work. I've read through all of them, and frankly, it looks as though Apple has thought of every angle in this one, anticipating the privacy backlash, which, in my honest opinion, is overheated and misguided. Surveillance is a fact of life, whether you're walking down the street or reading this email. In fact, I've secreted a 5G tracking device in this very video, and I'm now following you. The issue with this debate is that it's too easy to get excited about the perceived threat of surveillance and miss the actual threat of child sex abuse that is happening all too often and too easily to children across social media. For more on this story, follow the link in the comments section. And part two, the story is around crypto hacking and showing that it's just hard to get away with. On August the 10th, the Poly network announced on Twitter that it had been hacked. At a value of around $600 million, it was the largest hack of cryptocurrency assets ever, beating the previous heist of $450 million in 2014, although that would be worth $34 trillion in today's money. The reason why it is so difficult to get away with crypto hacking is that it leaves a digital footprint. Cryptocurrencies are run on a technology called blockchain. Every coin, token, and transaction is recorded on these blockchains as immutable records. In other words, this means that every transaction is written down in a digital ledger in indelible ink, not a 2B pencil that can be rubbed out. According to blockchain security firm Slowmist, within hours they had tracked down the hacker's digital location, including their IP address, mailbox, and device fingerprint. Slowmist and a team of other security firms were very quickly able to identify the source of funds and where much of the stolen crypto had been moved to. Meanwhile, Poly Network issued an open letter asking the hackers to return the funds. As I was putting this issue of Wiser to bed, around $230 million of the stolen assets had been returned in less than 48 hours. This goes to show that having the technical wherewithal to steal cryptocurrency and digital assets is one thing, but then laundering them and cashing out is extremely difficult. If you want to find out more about this story, follow the link in the comment section. And finally, let's have a look at search engines, and particularly the comparison between Google and the rest. And here we find that not everything is created equal. Now, when it comes to search, Google dominate. Google has 92% market share of the online search market. They control over a quarter of global online ad spending. And last year, they booked $147 billion in revenue from online ads, more than any other firm in the world. Google leads the browser sector as well, with Chrome occupying over 60% of the market. All these products are provided free of charge. The browser you use, the results you get, the adverts you see, courtesy of the benevolent information overlord known as Google. Except the bit where I remind you that when the product is free, you are the product. However, when it comes to search results, surely they all return the same results, right? Well, not necessarily. I've come across an interesting piece of research from an SEO expert. He has analysed 6.5 million search results from the top 4 search engines to find out how much their results are alike, or as it turns out, not so much. His conclusion: Google's algorithms are doing something very different to everyone else. The research found Google's #1 result is only matched in the top spot on Yahoo, Bing, and DuckDuckGo around a third of the time. Google's top 10 results match the others less than 1/3 of the time. Google is 2 times more likely to produce a Facebook result and 3 times more likely to produce a Pinterest result than the other 3. And Bing, Yahoo, and DuckDuckGo are more likely than Google to put Amazon, YouTube, IMDb, and TripAdvisor in the top 10 search results. If you want to find more about this story, go to the comments section to find the link to this story. And also you find a link to my discussion earlier this year with the founder of Neeva. This is a subscription-based ad-free search engine which launched last month. That's all for this week, but there is so much more if you go to the Wiser newsletter, which is at rickhuckstep.com. There I've got Samsung, try again with foldable phones, the Uber founder and his secret network of dark kitchens, how the Volkswagen chief exec got stuck with his electric vehicle on holiday in Italy, and a whole series of headlines about Joby Aviation, Coinbase, Sky News Australia being banned by YouTube, and the slow collapse of Amazon's drone delivery dream. And if you do head over to the Wiser newsletter, please send me a comment and let me know what you think. I've just recently moved to the Ghost platform. It's been quite a challenging undertaking as I've worked out how to use the technology, and I'd really like the feedback on the presentation of the content and the work and how the site is working. So send me a comment and let me know what you think of it all. That's all for this week. Please subscribe to the newsletter. Please subscribe to the channel. And remember, inside information gives you leverage.